Okay, y'all, so I'm going to attempt to make bread on this thing. We'll see how well it works. So I've got two mixing bowls. One for dry ingredients, one for wet ingredients. I've got a whisk. I've got this other thingy. It's double-sided, like one you can use for folding, one you can use for basting. I tried it with the whisk the other day. Didn't really like it. So I've got my flour. I need 2¼ cups of flour. Now, the wet ingredients are supposed to be room temperature. I ain't doing it. I didn't do it the last time. And it came out really good. So I'm not going to do it this time. Just move these out of the way. So I'll show you how I was taught to get flour out of your container. You fill it. Okay. See, it's like overflowing. You take the back of a butter knife, not the part you would use to cut with, pat it down in there, and then you scrape it across. Get it nice and even. Dump it into your bigger mixing bowl. You need 2¼ cups. So, gotta do it one more time with this bigger one. I actually might have to get my other package of flour out. Sorry, y'all, I'm not very good at this whole video thing. Packing it down, scraping it across. There's 2. And yeah, I will bang that on the side just to make sure I'm not wasting any. Got my 1/4 cup. Definitely gonna need more flour after this batch. And this will only make 1 loaf. Scraping it across, dumping it in. Done with the flour. And yeah, I am going to save like all my little measuring spoons and stuff out. I have different ones for different things. I have some for wet and some for dry just because it makes it so much easier. Then I need, where did it go? I need baking powder. I cannot find my baking powder right now. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? I had it the other day when I did this, so I know it's close by. My kitchen is a living hell right now. Oh, there it is. It's hiding behind the last bit of the store-bought bread. That's why I am trying yet again to make another loaf or 2 of bread. So I dip it in, and like a lot of these, they have the edges so that you can properly scrape it up, but doesn't always work. So then take the butter knife, see if I can do this where y'all can see it, and just finish leveling it off. Add that in with your dry ingredients. Just leave that close by because I'm going to make another loaf after this. Then I need 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. It says kosher, and I will just slowly pour it into the measuring spoon, try to level it off. And I did it perfect. I don't know if you can see that. I've got like a glare or something going on my thing. Leave that close by. And what you do is you take your whisk together all your dry ingredients in that big bowl. Whisking, whisking, whisking. And there's a reason why I have one of these rubberized ones. So I had a brand new metal whisk, and I was making gravy, and it actually sliced my finger open pretty good, and we're still not sure how. So, okay, that's all whisked together. Good. Move that out of the way. Close the salt. So then, you can move that aside. I mean, yeah, I've got these big, huge porcelain mixing bowls. And they do get warm being on my stove. Oh, yes. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And this will work in high elevation as well as low elevation. You just cook it a little bit longer. You don't have to add anything extra. 3 large eggs. Now, remember, your stuff is supposed to be room temperature according to the recipe. I pull it out of the fridge and just go for it. You might have to cook it a little longer. That's about all. Oh no, a shell. Oh yes, and please, please wash your hands before doing all this. Wash, sanitize, all that. Nobody's gonna want to eat bread if you're making it and you ain't washed your hands beforehand. There's 2. Because you never know when you're gonna have to dig in for a shell, no matter what you're making. Unless you're just that good. And I am learning, again, to cook and bake. So I got the eggs. What's next? 1.5 cups of milk. Now, I messed up and did not get my 1.5 cups out for the milk. But luckily, I've got everything close by. So, I can just grab them out of my drawer. It's my 1.5 cups. I'll do it one at a time. And I do it over the top of the bowl. I don't mind if I get a little extra in there. Which I didn't that time. Yay! I even found a sweetbread recipe with this base. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to try it yet. And 6 tablespoons of oil. Now, it says canola oil, but it also says you can use any other type of oil. I have just regular vegetable oil. Yet again, over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Separate that one from the ones that I use for dry. Alright, and so then you're going to take your whisk and you're going to, I like to stab it down on the egg yolks to help break them up. Whisk it together really, really good. Really, really good. Now, there's a reason why I got the spatula looking baster thing out. Trust me, I don't know the names of like any of this stuff. Besides whisk and spatula and, you know, all that fun stuff. Because when I tried to whisk all this together the other day, it didn't work too well. And you're gonna try to do like a muffin type texture. So then, that's all whisked together. Bring back your large bowl. Just dunk your wet ingredients in. Okay? I let go of it. Oh no. I ain't doing that again. I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was trying to show you how to make soup, the veggie beef soup, my tripod went flying. It did not work too well. So, take your bread pan, whatever type it's gonna be. I've got the glass one. Line it with parchment paper. That's all you need to do. Set it aside. Get it ready. So then you're going to mix this together. And yeah, you'll probably get some up at the top, but that's why I'm using this instead of a whisk. And you're going to make, it's called like a muffin-like batter. But at least with this thing, I can actually scrape the sides as I need to. The whisk, I wasn't really able to do that. Yeah, it may not have, you know, caused as many issues. But, you know, it just, if you're getting it a little too lumpy, get the whisk back out. At least this way I can mix it a little quicker, because my bowl is heating up with it being on the stove. I don't have a very big, okay, I have a big kitchen. I just have like no counter space, literally. I've got a curio cabinet right there, and that over there is my only counter. So I make do with every little piece of space I can use. When I'm baking or cooking, I prep a lot on top of my stove while everything is heating up and whatnot. So I've got this pretty much down to where it's gonna be good. I'm gonna put that on my parchment paper. Now I'm going to take my whisk just to make sure I've got most of the lumps out. But yeah, I was back to the metal whisk story. I have been banned from using a metal whisk for probably the rest of my life because of it cutting my finger open so bad. And all I was doing was making gravy. Regular beef gravy from stock, and it just was not good. Randy came home, got his first aid kit out. I do not like iodine anymore. That hurt. Alright, so you see how most of those lumps are out? You are golden. Bang your whisk onto the side. You want as much of that out as possible. And I'm actually trying to save on, oh, I got stuff all over my phone, oh well, on my parchment paper, so I'm actually reusing some from the last time I did this. Alright, so as you can see, you just kind of push it back down in there, and it will go in, y'all. It will. Take your one mixing bowl, your spatula-like thing, and I don't know if you guys can see this. Woo! And equally pour it into, I'm going to have to maneuver this a little, into your parchment paper line, or you can actually spray a bread pan down. I don't have the spray, so I'm using parchment paper. If you can get the paper to work with you, you will be doing way better than me. I actually had this problem last time too. The paper did not want to cooperate, and I had to stop through half a pour, resituate it, and then start pouring again. But you just pour it in. Full length of your bread pan or glass bread pan, whatever. I don't know if y'all can hear me. And I will scrape the bowls down completely. Okay. Then you just try to push the paper back out. This paper is not liking me today, y'all. I'm actually thinking about maybe trying to tape it down, but I don't think I need to go that extreme. And then, you know, so what if there's like a little whoop-de-doo in your bread? Just makes it look more store-bought, I guess. Anyways, that's what it looks like. The recipe does not say anything about banging it around or anything to get rid of the bubbles. And, oh, I'm so going to kill someone. I asked my husband to pull out the cookies that I was making the other day. He didn't do it. So guess what? I got burnt cookies in my oven right now, and I couldn't smell it. So this is Life of Sam. I have a recipe for 3-ingredient peanut butter cookies, and I'm gonna have to show them to you one day. Anyway, so burnt cookies, yay. You put it in there. So I live really high up in elevation. So when it says cook it for 40 to 45 minutes, I actually have to cook it for 45 to 55 minutes. So I will get back to you guys when I'm pulling the bread out and after I get this cookie mess cleaned up.